If you're a business leader and you still don't have an AI strategy, I don't think the problem is that you don't care or if you're not smart enough. I think you're drowning in information, the new features, the new tools, which one you should go in on. Should we care about the existential partnerships with the government? Should we not? It's a paralysis. And honestly, it's a new form of procrastination because in my opinion, what's happening is really different and unique in the marketplace with technology, and the time to implement and try and test and pilot, that time is leaving us. Now for leaders in your organization, you've actually got to understand how to do real things that drive real value for your company and enterprise to compete. And so I've really seen a lot of patterns across leadership conversations over the past year and a half where we've been talking with middle market to enterprises across what it looks like to try AI, implement it, and have honestly an ongoing culture of leveraging it in their business. And so previously, where I was a performance marketer and helping clients think about how to try new channels, try new campaigns to drive the performance that they were seeing and providing context across all clients to do so, I'm providing that same mindset with AI. And so I want to share a couple things that I've learned and why it maps directly into what really is happening with AI right now and maybe how you can change a couple things to get ahead of the curve. But before I do that, I've been in the agency world for 13 years. For the past several years, I've been running Prometheus, and we help middle market companies and enterprises think about deploying AI systems that generate real returns in operations, marketing, or sales. Problem that I'm describing today, and the pattern comes up in almost every client conversation we have. It's not a technology problem, it's a clarity problem. So sometimes you need partners and outside people to help with clarity and provide context across lots of different conversations and contexts to help make it specific for your business. So if you want a dedicated strategy session, that's free. There's a link in this comment section. Please click on it. You'll get a chance to chat with me. I'd love to hear about your business, how you've played with AI in the past, and maybe what your concerns are or the types of things that you're thinking about, and see if that makes sense. And maybe we could get a chance to have deeper conversations and partner together. But I would love to give you the right framework. And let me give you the framework right now that I think can be helpful for you as a leader. Let's maybe step back 8 years ago, 2017, 2018. I was just around 31 years old. I'd been leading a couple accounts, helped with pitches on a support perspective, but never really been given that large agency performance marketing budget. We won some worked with them for a while. We had someone leave, and all of a sudden I was asked if I wanted to take over and lead that client strategically. It was a little unexpected, but I was excited about the chance to step in and lead a team. And that chance, well, honestly, quickly it kind of felt at first like a trap. So I had account history from just conversations with my peers, but really there's detail. There was 5 to 6 years of just our specific scope that I had to absorb. Executive relationships that I had not built. There was internal team dynamics that I did not understand. Expectations I wasn't sure about. Honestly, they were just things that I was unsure if I could actually meet. There was so much context and so much information that not only could I not lead the client necessarily or lead the team, it felt like I was bad at my job, but there was just so much information that a 2-week transition period just wasn't enough to absorb. I really did have to kind of be thrown into the fire, so to speak, to start learning and creating our own path to help drive context and leadership within the business. That volume of information was genuinely beyond what anyone can process. And so I had decision paralysis. I didn't even know how to ask my leadership the right things to do. I couldn't lead the teams. I couldn't think clearly. I was just trying to survive. It took me a long time to find my footing. When I sit down with business leaders right now, that paralysis is exactly the feeling and emotion that I hear. Call it 80% of the conversations that I'm having with executives around AI. Most of them, they're not scared by the tech, they're scared of where to start. And maybe scared is hyperbolic, unsure, or lacking the ability to provide clarity with something that they know has massive amount of opportunity for the business. It's overwhelming. Again, if you're in the AI world, you know this. Or if you're just paying attention to tech, whether it's on X or in your email feeds and newsletters, is that all these things are happening and it's changing, and it's tough to really know where you need to turn. There's new model releases, new tools within certain models, new philosophies and ways of working. It's just really fast. And so the noise, I mean, you feel it, it's relentless. And so the response that I see of these leaders, they really, folks fall into two buckets. Some leaders are swirling around it, talking about it. They're not ignoring it completely, but they're thinking it's going to stabilize. And it's not for a long time, in my opinion. It's impossible to just assume that the pace that's happening, that eventually it's just going to stall out. There's only so many newsletters, webinars, demos, panels, things that you can attend to try to get caught up without actually getting on the playing field and doing some things for themselves. So that's the first leadership bucket. Let's call it the ones that are kind of on pause, stepping back, waiting, hopefully some stability happens so that they can jump in. However, there's a second bucket of people that realize that ignoring it, tracking everything to try to catch up is not the right solution. Maybe they just step in and they try some stuff. Maybe it's themselves. Maybe they democratize a certain thing to a teammate. Those are the people, in my opinion, and what I would suggest to you right now, if you kind of find yourself in that, again, not ignoring it completely, but just sort of waiting for stability and paying attention to it. You have to have some sort of plan, even if you're the folks that are waiting. So there's a gap, but what's going to happen is the folks that are waiting and just paying attention to stuff versus the ones that are trying things, the gap grows, and there's, particularly in your competitive set, there's a landscape opportunity that's just going to continue to make this worse, in my opinion. And so most of what's out there are these case studies about things that just don't translate to the middle market, where it's just a hype train of issues or a hype train of maybe awesomeness. And again, it's just tough to find that central thread. Here's the shift. And this is what helped me get out of that same paralysis around 8 to 9 years ago. It's that second example. I stopped trying to absorb everything and I just needed some direction, and I just started to run, started to ask questions, started to try, started to pilot, even if it was just piloting, starting ideas and things like that with my team, which is what I was doing. Okay, here's an example of what I would think worked. Do you agree with that? Here's how I apply that creative system or channel or campaign to this client. Do you all agree with that? As I started to get more confidence in suggestions and recommendations I was making, then I was able to really run, and I felt like I became a trusted advisor with the client. Those same principles apply. That second example of what I was talking about, you don't have to understand everything. You can literally just get out there. You can try. You can try a couple of things. As an executive, maybe you don't need to specifically try yourself, but you need to dedicate an individual in your leadership team to be the champion, to try all the tools, or ask one person to own Claude, one person to own GPT, let them collaborate, apply specific pain points from your business and help them build some things. And maybe that's how they can actually grow. But the key is, like, is that plan written down? Is there a real solution that you're trying to build? And then can the tools help support you there? Write the plan down. That's step one. Whatever you're trying to achieve in these models, write down the objective of the use case and make sure it maps back to a business objective, because then you'll really care about it. Is it a revenue driver? Is it an efficiency driver? What is it? And then what's the pain point with the AI? And then let it go help solve those things for you. Step two, and I was starting to touch on it, make sure that the friction point is really clear and you're briefing your AI on that friction point, and and the AI itself, you don't need a prompt. You just need to talk to it and it'll actually go out and figure some stuff out for you. Step three, let it give you the implementation plan, ask for a requirements document, and these things can get pretty far building those things for you. And this is what I mean by clarity being noise. There's so much opportunity out there, but you just really need to start simply. You know your business, you know the things that your business is struggling with. Now you just need to take that into a tool and let it brainstorm with you to build. Look, here's the thing. What I see with leaders that are starting to really get momentum with AI is that they are giving these platforms the clarity around what they need to achieve. They know what they need to build. Sometimes you need an advisor to help you see that. Sometimes you just need to sit down and plan it. Write it down. What objectives are you trying to achieve? How can you go talk to AI to see if it can help you solve those things? Or you could delegate that to key members of your team. Regardless, take the time to plan. And if you want to sit down and walk through this with someone from an objective mindset, book a call with me. I'll love to talk about it with you and help give you even more guidance specifically about your business and what you're trying to achieve. It's free, it's focused, and you'll leave with a clear next step. Link in the description. Make sure you like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more practical AI videos.